What's going on, guys? Just trying to get my shit together. Time to lock in. Tuesday, it's a huge slate. There's a ton of good games. It's a big day. Tuesday, I've said it before. First of all, if you guys are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Every single day, I go over every single game in college basketball. Monday through Friday, my videos come out at 6 in the morning Eastern time. On weekends, they're a little bit more into the late night hours of the morning to give people extra time because we all know there's some noon, some early games over the weekend. So I try to give you guys a little extra time. Look, Tuesdays, I've said it before, Tuesdays are like neck and neck with Saturday. And honestly, I'm liking this midweek vibe lately, guys. You can see it on the bottom of the screen. Back-to-back 3-unit hits. So tonight was low volume, but it was a big wager. Tonight it was only one pick for members, another 3-unit hit, Texas Tech over Kansas. I even went a little heavier personally. I know how critical bankroll management is. Look, people on the internet can fool you. People can rent cars for a day, try to portray some image like they make all this money off sports betting, but reality, they come from a rich family or whatever the fuck it is. I do this to pay my bills. I'm as real as it gets. I've done this for 11 years. I've been up, I've been down, I've been burnt. I used to mismanage bankroll management. I used to just be irrational with my wagering. I've been through it all. So I hope you guys would definitely consider becoming part of my channel. 16 and 10 now over the past 8 days here on the channel with 2 3-unit plays involved. I don't know how much you guys bet, but if you're betting like $100 per unit, even less than that, because that's about what I bet, $100, $200 a unit. But if you guys are betting $100 a unit and just over the last week, you're a member on my channel, you've made almost $1,000 in about 8 days. So that's cool. Yeah, Tuesdays are awesome. This is an awesome slate. I already posted 2 picks for members. Highly recommend you guys become a member here on the channel. Just printing money. We lost some on the Super Bowl. You guys see the transparency. In my losing days, I let you know what I won on, what I lost on, all that good stuff. But overall, for like 10 days now, printing money. In fact, last week on Tuesday and Wednesday, I was a combined 8-1. And you know what? I'm looking at these games. I think we might be able to do a little bit better here. This is going to be an incredible 2-day stretch. So hop on there, become a member right now. There's a pinned video on my YouTube home screen in case you don't see the join button or you have a couple of issues hitting or trying to become a member here on the channel. There's a short, like 1-minute video that gives you guys a little bit further instruction on how to become a member here. Look at the comments down below from members. Take it from them. But guys, Texas Tech was a smash spot. I couldn't help myself. I went even heavier. I almost added Wake Forest in tonight as a half-unit play. Couldn't quite get there. I knew it was going to be right around that mark, so I actually split that game. Took Texas Tech on the money line, and then I Duke money line in one wager, and then I had Wake Forest with a couple extra points in another, hit both sides of that. I threw in TCU on the money line to give us a little extra profit on the Texas Tech play. But an awesome Monday, and it's just going to be an awesome week. It's going to be an awesome finish to the year. Super excited, super dialed in. Everything feels good right now. I'm dialed in. I know these games. I'm looking ahead. I already have games where I'm like, ooh, if they lose in this game, then that game versus that team is a smash spot. Like, I'm already a week ahead. I'm up all night long, up until the fucking sun comes up, crunching numbers, looking at games, looking at lineups. I'm the guy. And honestly, guys, $30 a month, that's only a limited time price. It probably will go up for March. If anything changes, if I do increase it, it'll probably only be maybe another $10 a month, something like that. And of course, I'll put out a public video announcing any type of changes here on the channel. But I'm just printing money. And most people, you go on Wager Talk, you go on Pick Dogs, you go on all these, sports betting websites. These guys charge you $50, $60 just for their best bet, just for one day. You get all my picks for an entire month, and I'm the best in the business right now with college hoops. Let's keep it rolling. Time to lock in. We got a lot of games to go through. Tuesdays are absolutely insane. Love me a Tuesday, man. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's like the 3-day stretch from hell for the sports books, man. I'm just owning them. Also, guys, I lost my ability to bet college basketball on FanDuel. I mean, if that's not a sign, tonight I was cut off, and I'm serious. I have screenshots with customer service. I have screen recordings of like tapping on college basketball and trying to find the games. I'm cut off. I've won so much over the years and recently on college basketball that they're still allowing me to bet like futures. Like they said that I'm allowed to place a wager on who I think will win the national championship. Obviously, it's a ridiculous thing to try to get right, but I'm actually cut off on FanDuel now from just betting games straight up every day. So if that's not a sign to follow what I'm doing, I don't know. Let's get into these games, guys. Tuesday. Let's go. Tuesday. I'm so pumped for this. Marquette Butler is the first game. I mean, right off the bat, a pretty good game here. Marquette Butler, the spread's 4.5. I thought I saw 3.5 earlier. You know, initially I wanted to lean Butler, but in the last game, like they came up short, man. Just a complete collapse against a bad Providence team. Providence can show up at home and in certain spots where they have like an emotional edge, like a little something extra to really make them play hard. Marquette's a good squad. They're coming on strong, 4 in the country. I still lean Butler, but I'm a little bit disappointed in how they finished the game against Providence. It doesn't make me necessarily thrilled to take them here. But at the same time, the way that game finished and the fact that they barely won it, maybe we're getting a little extra value here. Because if they held on strong in that game and they ended up just blowing Providence out by like 15, 16, maybe this would be closer to a pick 'em. So 4.5 points at home, big resume builder. I'm going to side with Butler here, getting 4.5. I just don't love it. I'm just not in love with it. Illinois, Indiana State. I really don't have an opinion on this one, guys. I'm sorry. It's a huge spread. Indiana State's ranked. I'm not really familiar with them. No thanks. Pittsburgh, Virginia. The spread is 5.5. It's creeping up. I think this one was 4.5 at open. What do you do? What do you do here? Pittsburgh's a good team. They can battle. They can hang in there. Is this a game where Virginia just grinds it out? Do they just kind of forget? Not forget. Did they just kind of get to the end of the game with like a 7-8 point safety net and they just kind of, get fouled and use up the shot clock and just kind of strategically get to the finish line, get their win and move on to the next game, but not worry about covering 5.5? Sometimes Virginia doesn't run people out of the building. It's a low total, 122.5, in kind of a slower pace, low scoring, grind out game. I'm just not thrilled with laying 5.5, but at the same time, Virginia's been an absolute juggernaut lately. They're pretty solid. Their defense is scary, especially at home. Significantly better at home. Pittsburgh off of the big win at NC State. That was a solid one. That was a premium play here as well. So I'm not a Pittsburgh hater. We bet on them before. In this spot, I think I would have to do Virginia or pass. If it gets up to like 6.5 or even like a 7 tomorrow before tip, I think you have to take Pittsburgh. But a 4.5, 5.5, I haven't checked some of the other books. If there's still like a 4.5 out there, I feel a little bit better about Virginia. Michigan, Illinois, this is one I had circled. So Illinois is off that loss, right? I got to double check because I just watched so much basketball. Sometimes I do forget here. Illinois. What was their last game? Right. The Michigan State game. That was a free play. I gave that out here on the channel and TikTok. Michigan State got it done. So Illinois, off of that loss, now they're at home playing a Michigan team who on the road won't have, one of their better players. They just lost to Nebraska by 20. 15.5 is a monster spread, but I'm gonna lay it. I'm gonna lean Illinois in this spot. 15.5. I mean, Illinois could easily win by 20. And you can't take Michigan. If you think 15.5 is too much points, just bet something else. Don't put your money on Michigan basketball. Texas A&M on the road. Boy, I'll tell you what, I lean Vanderbilt here. Are they gonna pull off the upset? I don't know. but 9.5, Texas A&M off that huge Tennessee game. Texas A&M, again, that was one of our plays. We had Texas A&M over Tennessee at home. Easy cash. Was a great spot. A ranked team going to a non-ranked gym with a small spread is a no-brainer. In this spot on the road, boy, 9.5. That's probably too many points. I'm gonna lean Vanderbilt here, get 9.5. That's probably just a little bit too rich for my blood. This is probably like more of a 4 or a 5 point Texas A&M win here. Iowa State at Cincy. This one's super interesting. Super interesting. Iowa State's super good. Really like this team. I'm super dialed in with the Big 12. If you guys are new to my channel, I've said it before. I went to school at West Virginia. So Big 12 is it. Big 12 is what I really, really just can't get enough of. I just watch every game. I just know everything about the Big 12. Iowa State, man. Is this a spot where we fade Iowa State here and then we take them in the next game to beat the Texas Tech team that just beat Kansas tonight? You can sort of, man, when you get dialed in with a team, you can take them, you can fade them, you can take them. And when you're just in tune with a certain team, you can really hit 3, 4, 5 bets in a row. Cincinnati, good effort against Houston. You're at home, desperation spot, number 10 in town, and they're an underdog. I think it's got to be for a reason. I'm going to lean Cincinnati here. I would not mess with the spread at 1.5. Money line, -128, Cincinnati. Maybe somehow, some way they get it done here. I'd lean the home team. Duquesne at Dayton, no opinion on this one. I mean, Dayton's at home. They're going to get the win. Do they cover 8.5? Probably. Am I totally sure about it? No. Do I try to stick to Power 5 basketball and like good programs? Yes. Dayton is very solid. I'll bet on a Dayton, a Wichita State, Gonzaga, some of the lesser schools, but Duquesne and Dayton, no thanks. Georgetown, Creighton, not interested. I don't trust Creighton, man. I just don't trust them. I like Creighton in spots where the spread is like 1 or 2, or maybe they're even an underdog. I like them in those situations. I played them on a Friday night game where they were favored double digits against Butler and they lost the game outright. So I can't trust them to lay 17.5. LSU, Florida off a monster win as well. Beat the absolute dog shit out of Auburn. Again, that was a premium pick for members. We were on Florida over Auburn. 9.5, man. Is it just a bucket or two too many? I mean, that's such a good team. It's a home game, but it's just hard to repeat that type of energy. Florida's going to be a massive public play as well. People are going to be all over Florida after what they did at Auburn. I'm going to lean LSU. Maybe somehow, some way, one last shot. 9.5. I feel like it's just going to be so close to that number, the margin of victory here, that I just don't want to mess with it. Ohio State at Wisconsin. You just got to look at Wisconsin here. I'm pretty sure this was 7.5 earlier. It's up to 9.5 now. As long as it's single digits, I'm looking at Wisconsin. They're off 4 losses in a row. Now they're at home against a pretty bad Ohio State team. I mean, as soon as they grow a little bit of a lead here, they're just going to keep their foot on the gas. They got to get some frustration out and get back on track here. They've fallen to number 20 in the country. Yeah, give me Wisconsin at home. Oklahoma, Baylor. This one is so interesting. That line just feels so sharp to me. 6.5. 6.5. What do you guys think? Let's get a little community help here. What do you guys think below in the comments? Is Baylor going to win by 7 or more? Oklahoma, that's a stingy team. They're a good team at hanging in games, not coming up with wins, but really hanging in there. It just makes me think of that Cincinnati game. Man, they hung in there and then they pulled away at the end of the game and won. Are they going to get a win at Baylor? Probably not. 6.5 in a top 25 matchup. 2 ranked teams here. Oklahoma's pretty solid. Baylor didn't really impress me against Kansas. It was more Kansas kind of screwing around. That Kansas Baylor game, in my opinion, was like Kansas good. Baylor, quick little spurt to get back within striking distance. Kansas pulling away, Kansas looking great, Kansas looking invincible. Baylor with a little bit of luck and a couple of big shots to get back within striking distance, and they ended up hanging in there until the end and covering the number. But I'm not thrilled with Baylor. I'm not like head over heels. I don't love Baylor. 6.5 at home. Boy, this just feels like a 4 or 5 point win for Baylor. I think I'd lean Oklahoma in the points. That's tough. Florida State, Virginia Tech. Florida State, man. Their last game was their opportunity to try to turn the season around. They fell short. Give me Virginia Tech at home, -4.5. Colorado State, San Diego State. I don't know, man. 5.5. Is this a 3-point win for San Diego State? A 1-point win? A buzzer beater win? An overtime win? This game's got to be pretty close. I lean Colorado State getting 5.5. And I don't like going against San Diego State at home. I really don't. Is what it is. Ole Miss, Kentucky. I'm not even going to give an opinion. I'm so done with Kentucky. I had a play out on them over Gonzaga. Kentucky plays zero fucking defense, zero rebounding effort. They're gutless. They're soft. Ole Miss, they got some dogs on that team. Find it hard to believe Kentucky's going to lose another home game. I mean, this is going to get out of control if they lose this one. Calipari's going to lose his fucking job. 8.5. This is too many points. Kentucky's not a good basketball team. I don't care. Give me Ole Miss. Fuck Kentucky. They're not a good. They can't hoop. That team's trash. No effort. No. Like senior leadership. They're soft. They're soft, and you can punk them. I think Ole Miss can punk them and stay in the game. UCF at BYU, super interesting. 11.5 just seems wildly high. But at the same time, in their last game, they were killing their opponent before they just totally took their foot off the gas at the end of the game. Is this the same type of game and they don't take their foot off the gas and they actually do cruise to a 15-point win? Maybe. 11.5, conference game in the Big 12. Probably not a good idea to be laying double digits. Just feels like a 7 or an 8-point win. I don't know. UCF can hang in there with some pretty good teams. They're much better at home. I know that, but 11.5. I'm not looking to lay it with BYU. I'll just say that. Louisville, BC, no opinion. Probably Boston College. I don't know if they cover 8.5. And then to end the night, New Mexico is at Nevada. Nevada's a favorite. Boy, I really do, and I've said it before, I really do favor home court advantage in college basketball to my best ability, I try to use as much discipline as I can to only bet home games. Like I really do try to stay away from road games in college hoops. In this spot, I actually lean New Mexico. You're giving me 2.5 points. I don't love Nevada. I think this is a small upset. I think New Mexico actually goes there and gets the dub. Wow, and that's Tuesday. There's so many good games. Like I said, guys, I already have 2 plays out. I am going to add more. I'm probably going to end up with 4, maybe 5 picks tomorrow. Become a member. If you bet $10 on each of those tomorrow and Wednesday, you'll pay for your membership in 2 days. Just Tuesday and Wednesday of last week, we were 8-1. So take it for what it is. Love your guys' support. Drop a like on the video before you exit out. Leave me some comments down below with your favorite games. And as always, tomorrow, I'll see you in the next video.